It's just after midnight, March 31st, 2025, Orange County, Florida, a quiet stretch of land on the edge of civilization, still enough to hear your own breath, a street where no one should have been walking, where nobody expected to die, but someone did. He was found in silence, breath shallow, chest heaving, a single wound, center mass, sharp, deep, measured, intentional. This wasn't a random act of violence. It was planned, it was personal, and it was cruel. Kenneth Marrero Cardona was 32 years old, a name most people never heard until it showed up in a crime report, until it was followed by the words, pronounced dead on arrival. But to understand what happened, we need to ask a more disturbing question. Why was he left to bleed out in the dark? Was it a robbery gone wrong? Was it a setup? Or was it something more twisted, something cold, calculated, and rehearsed? The truth starts unraveling not with a confession, but with a scream. 911, what's your emergency? There's a man, he's bleeding, he's not moving, I think he's dying. That voice belonged to a woman who said she just happened to be passing by. She didn't leave her name, she didn't stick around, and she never called back. Her voice is just one of the many ghosts in this story. By the time the officers arrived, the man on the pavement had no ID, no phone, no wallet, just a single stab wound, just left of center. The kind that causes the lungs to fill with blood, the kind that robs the body of breath faster than a scream can finish. They didn't know who he was yet, but someone did, and they were already on the move, scrubbing messages, deleting calls, and washing off the blood. By dawn, detectives had a body, no witnesses, no weapon, and no one to tell the truth. But every story, every crime leaves footprints. And this one, it left a trail soaked in fear, betrayal, and something far worse, revenge. Kenneth Marrero wasn't supposed to die that night. At least, not yet. What led him to that corner, that hour, that moment, wasn't chance. It was choreography, a sequence of events spanning days, weeks, maybe longer, with motives buried beneath layers of deception. This wasn't his first encounter with the people who would later be charged with his murder. It may have been his last, but not his first. So what was it? Was it drugs? A bad deal? A debt unpaid? Or was it something even more primal? Was it love? Was it jealousy? Was it control? The name Emily Treusch would surface just days later. 33 years old, blonde, thin, calm demeanor. But behind that detached expression was rage and a secret. Police wouldn't find the murder weapon, but they would find something else. A message, a thread in a tangled web. He got what he deserved. Those words weren't spoken in court. They were whispered in private to a man named Kenneth Gibson. Kenneth Gibson, 36 years old, no relation to the victim, but very much a part of the story. He would later be charged as an accessory to murder, an accomplice in something brutal. But why would a man help cover up a killing? And why would he lie about where he was that night? Something happened in the days leading up to March 31st, something that stitched these three people together, and something that ended in blood. We know the ending, but the real mystery lies in the middle. Because Kenneth Marrero didn't just stumble into the wrong place at the wrong time. He was led there, walked into the night, blind to the betrayal waiting at the end of that road. And now we ask the questions that still echo. What really happened that night? Why did they do it? And what did Kenneth know that made him dangerous? Tonight we whisper through the truth, through the lies, and through the cold, brutal final hours of a man who never saw the blade coming. This is the story of Kenneth Marrero Cardona and the people who wanted him gone. Welcome to True Crime Whispers. In the heart of St. Cloud, Florida, a town where the Spanish moss drapes over ancient oaks and the sunsets paint the sky in hues of amber and crimson, lived a man whose life was a tapestry woven with threads of joy, struggle, and resilience. This is the story of Kenneth Marrero Cardona. Born on March 9, 1993, Kenneth entered a world brimming with possibilities. St. Cloud, with its blend of historic charm and modern conveniences, provided a nurturing backdrop for his formative year. From an early age, Kenneth exhibited a curiosity that knew no bound. His mother often recounted tales of him dismantling household gadgets, only to reassemble them with remarkable precision. This innate inquisitiveness hinted at a mind destined for creativity and innovating. As he navigated the corridors of adolescence, Kenneth's interests diversified. Music became his sanctuary, the rhythmic strumming of a guitar, the soulful melodies of a saxophone. Each note resonated with his spy eye. He wasn't merely a listener, he was a creator, composing pieces that echoed the depths of his emotions. Beyond his personal pursuits, Kenneth was the embodiment of community spirit. Neighbors recall a young man who would mow lawns for the elderly without expecting compensation, who volunteered at local shelters, and who believed that kindness was the currency of humanity. However, life, with its unpredictable cadence, presented Kenneth with challenges that tested his resilience. The absence of his father during pivotal moments cast shadows that he endeavored to illuminate with positivity. He became a pillar for his family, especially his younger siblings, offering guidance drawn from his own experiences. Friendships for Kenneth were sacred. Those who walked alongside him in life's journey speak of a confidant who listened without judgment, who celebrated their triumphs and provided solace during tribulations. His circle was not vast, but it was profound, built on mutual respect and unwavering support. Kenneth's professional aspirations mirrored his multifaceted personality. He delved into various vocations, each endeavor marked by dedication and a thirst for knowledge. Colleagues admired his work ethic, noting that he approached tasks not as obligations, but as opportunities to learn and grow. Yet amidst the tapestry of his life, there were threads of struggle. Kenneth faced moments of self-doubt, battles with inner demons that he seldom voiced. But even in these periods of darkness, he sought the light, turning to art, music, and the embrace of loved ones as answers. Romance, too, played its part in Kenneth's narrative. He loved deeply, with a heart that bore the scars of past wounds, yet remained open to the possibilities of connection. Those who held his affection knew a partner who was attentive, passionate, and unafraid to be vulnerable. Kenneth's relationship with his mother was one of profound mutual respect and love. She was his guiding star, the voice that reminded him of his worth during moments of doubt. Her influence was evident in his values, his approach to life, and his unwavering belief in the goodness of people. In the waning hours of March 31st, 2025, as the sun dipped below the horizon and darkness enveloped Orange County, Florida, a sequence of events unfolded that would leave an indelible mark on the community. This is the meticulous reconstruction of that fateful night. The setting, Exchange Drive, a nondescript stretch nestled in the heart of Orange County. By day, it's a hub of activity, with businesses and commuters bustling about. By night, it transforms into an eerily quiet corridor, shadows stretching long under the dim glow of street lamp. At approximately 4 p.m., the Orange County Sheriff's Office received a distress call. A passerby reported an unresponsive individual lying on the pavement. Motionless deputies were immediately dispatched to the scene. Upon arrival, deputies discovered 32-year-old Kenneth Marrero Cardona. He was unresponsive, his body bearing the unmistakable signs of trauma. Most notably, a puncture wound marred his chest, a grievous injury that would later be identified as the cause of his death. Paramedics swiftly transported Kenneth to a nearby hospital, battling against IE. Despite their valiant efforts, he was pronounced dead shortly after arrival. The weight of the moment hung heavy, a life extinguished under mysterious circumstances. The medical examination was, though, the singular puncture wound to the chest was identified as the fatal injury. The precision and depth suggested a deliberate act, ruling out the possibility of an accident. The manner of death was unequivocally classified as homicide. Back on Exchange Drive, the crime scene was cordoned off, yellow tape fluttering in the evening res. Detectives combed the area meticulously, searching for clues that might illuminate the path to Jay's. Every shard of glass, every discarded item was cataloged, potential pieces of a perplexing puzzle. Witnesses were sparse. The few individuals present in the vicinity were questioned, their statements recorded. Yet the veil of mystery remained largely intact, the motive and perpetrator obscured by shadows. As night deepened, the weight of unanswered questions pressed heavily upon the community. Who would commit such a heinous act? And why? The journey for truth had begun, but the road ahead was shrouded in uncertainty. In the days that followed, the Orange County Sheriff's Office worked tirelessly. Their dedication bore fruit when, on April 4th, 2025, they announced the arrest of 33-year-old Emily Treusch. She was charged with second-degree murder, robbery, and kidnapping in connection with Kenneth's death. Alongside Treusch, 36-year-old Kenneth Gibson was apprehended. In the quiet corridors of the Orange County Sheriff's Office, the air was thick with the weight of an unsolved homicide. Detectives knew that the key to unraveling the mystery surrounding Kenneth Marrero Cardona's untimely death lay in the meticulous piecing together of disparate clues. The investigation commenced with a fervent urgency, each lead pursued with unwavering determination. The initial focus was on the crime scene itself. Exchange Drive, typically a hub of daytime activity, had transformed into an enigmatic tableau under the cover of night. Forensic teams combed the area, their eyes scanning for anything that might shed light on the events leading to Kenneth's demise. Amidst the detritus of urban life, a few items stood out. Personal belongings that seemed out of place, subtle disturbances in the environment that hinted at a struggle. Witness statements began to trickle in, each account adding a layer to the complex narrative. A local shopkeeper recalled seeing Kenneth earlier that day, noting nothing unusual in his demeanor. A passerby mentioned hearing raised voices near the vicinity around the estimated time of the incident, but couldn't provide specific. These fragments, though seemingly inconsequential alone, began to form a mosaic of possibility. Surveillance footage from nearby establishments became a focal point. Hours of grainy recordings were scrutinized, each frame analyzed for anomalous. It was during this exhaustive review that investigators noted a vehicle, a dark sedan, circling the area multiple times before disappearing from view. The car's presence, while not immediately incriminating, raised questions about its occupant's intentions. Delving deeper, authorities turned to technological evidence. Kenneth's mobile phone records were subpoenaed, revealing a series of calls and messages exchanged in the hours leading up to his death. Among the contacts, one name recurred with notable frequency: Emily Treusch. Further investigation unveiled that Emily, age 33, had a connection to Kenneth that warranted closer examination. Piecing together the timeline, detectives established that Kenneth and Emily had communicated multiple times on the day of the incident. Their interactions, coupled with the surveillance footage of the sedan, registered to Emily, near the crime scene, painted a picture that was becoming increasingly sear. As the net tightened around Emily, another figure emerged from the shadows: Kenneth Gibson, aged 36. Associations between Emily and Gibson were uncovered, suggesting a partnership that extended beyond mere acquaintance. Gibson's prior encounters with law enforcement hinted at a propensity for illicit activities, making his involvement in this case a plausible scenario. Theories began to culture. One prevailing hypothesis suggested that Kenneth had been lured to Exchange Drive under false pretenses, perhaps with the promise of a meeting or transaction. Once there, an altercation ensued, culminating in the fatal Nuri. The involvement of both Emily and Gibson hinted at a premeditated act, possibly motivated by robbery or a personal vendetta. With mounting evidence, authorities moved dexterously. Emily Treusch was apprehended and charged with second-degree murder, robbery, and kidnapping. Kenneth Gibson faced charges of accessory after the fact and kidnapping. The arrest marked a significant breakthrough, but the quest for justice was far from over. As the community grappled with the revelations, detectives remained steadfast, delving into the depths of the human psyche to unearth the motives that led to such a tragic end. The story of Kenneth Marrero Cardona serves as a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the relentless pursuit of truth in the labyrinth of human relationships and hidden pasts. The tragic demise of Kenneth Marrero Cardona unveils a complex web of individuals whose lives intersected in unforeseen and fatal ways. Central to this narrative are Emily Treusch and Kenneth Gibson, whose backgrounds and actions demand a closer examination to comprehend the events that culminated in tragedy. Emily Treusch, age 33, presents a profile marked by turbulence and encounters with the law. A decade prior, in 2014, Emily faced serious allegations involving coercion and exploitation. Reports from that period indicate that she, along with an accomplice, was implicated in a case where a young woman was allegedly forced into sex trafficking. The victim, described as possessing the mental capacity of a child, endured weeks of torment before a fortuitous intervention led to her rescue. During court proceedings, Emily expressed astonishment at her arrest, a reaction that added layers to the public's perception of her character. Fast forward to the present, and Emily's trajectory appears to have remained fraught with instability. Associates describe her as a transient figure, often navigating the fringes of society. Her connections to various individuals involved in illicit activities painted a picture of a life perpetually on the edge. It was within this milieu that her path crossed with that of Kenneth Gibson. Kenneth Gibson, age 36, carries his own dossier of legal entanglements. In July of 2024, records indicate that Gibson was arrested and charged with robbery with a firearm. The specifics of this incident remain sparse, but the charge itself underscores a propensity for high-risk behavior. Witnesses familiar with Gibson describe a man of mercurial temperament, whose motivations often seem shrouded in personal vendettas and a quest for dominance within his social sphere. His relationship with Emily was characterized by volatility, a partnership forged perhaps more out of convenience than genuine affection. The interplay between Emily and Gibson raises critical questions about the nature of their involvement in Kenneth Marrero Cardona's DA. Was the act premeditated, a culmination of simmering tensions and orchestrated inept? Or was it a spontaneous eruption of violence, fueled by substance abuse and impaired judge? The presence of a pellet gun as the weapon introduces an element of unpredictability. Was it chosen deliberately to inflict harm without immediate lethality? Or was it merely the weapon at hand in a moment of crisis? Psychological profiling suggests that individuals with histories akin to Emily and Gibson's often operate within cycles of behavior that escalate under specific stressors. The environment of a homeless encampment, coupled with the influence of narcotics, creates a volatile setting where perceptions are skewed and reactions are heightened. In such a context, disputes can rapidly devolve into irreversible actions. In the aftermath of the incident, both Emily and Gibson's behaviors offer insight into their pies. Emily's immediate flight and subsequent apprehension suggest a consciousness of guilt, an awareness of the gravity of her attempts. Gibson's role as an accessory, his attempts to obfuscate involvement, point to a calculated effort to distance himself from the crime, yet his decisions ultimately tethered him inexorably to the event. As the legal proceedings unfold, the narratives constructed by both the defense and prosecution will delve into these backgrounds, motivations, and psychological landscapes. The court will seek to unravel whether this tragedy was the result of a premeditated scheme, a drug-induced altercation, or an act of revenge rooted in past grievances. The answers lie buried within the intertwined histories of Emily Treusch and Kenneth Gibson, a duo whose choices have irrevocably altered the course of multiple lives. In the intricate tapestry of criminal investigations, the arrest phase serves as a pivotal juncture, a culmination of meticulous detective work, forensic analysis, and the relentless pursuit of justice. The apprehension of Emily Treusch and Kenneth Gibson in connection with the tragic demise of Kenneth Marrero Cardona is a testament to the unwavering dedication of law enforcement agencies. This chapter delves into the sequence of events leading to their arrests, the evidence amassed, and the subsequent charges levied against them. The investigation commenced on the afternoon of March 31, 2025, when deputies from the Orange County Sheriff's Office responded to a distress call at the 8800 block of Exchange Drive. Upon arrival, they discovered Kenneth Marrero Cardona, age 32, unresponsive with a puncture wound to his chest. Despite immediate medical intervention and transportation to a local hospital, Cardona was pronounced deceased, a grim inception to a case that would soon unravel layers of complexity. In the nascent stages of the investigation, detectives canvassed the area, seeking witnesses and surveillance footage that could shed light on the events leading to Cardona's untimely death. It was during this exhaustive search that the names Emily Treusch and Kenneth Gibson surfaced individuals whose recent interactions with the victim warranted further scrutiny. Emily Treusch, age 33, was known to frequent the area. Her association with Cardona was characterized by acquaintanceship, with reports indicating they had been seen together in the days preceding the incident. Kenneth Gibson, age 36, similarly had ties to both Treusch and the locale, further intertwining their narratives with that of the victim. As detectives delved deeper, they uncovered a chilling account of the events on the day of the homicide. Witnesses recounted a confrontation between Treusch and Cardona, escalating rapidly and intense. In a shocking turn, Treusch allegedly produced a pellet gun, discharging it at Cardona. The use of such a weapon, often perceived as non-lethal, in a fatal encounter, added a perplexing dimension to the case. Further complicating the narrative were the actions of Kenneth Gibson in the aftermath of the shooting. Reports indicate that Gibson wielded a firearm to threaten Cardona's girlfriend, forcibly seizing her phone, a calculated move to prevent her from contacting emergency service. In a macabre attempt to mislead investigators, Gibson allegedly inserted a needle into Cardona's arm, endeavoring to stage the scene as a drug overdose. This deliberate manipulation underscored a concerted effort to obfuscate the true nature of the crime. The accumulation of eyewitness testimonies, forensic evidence, and surveillance footage provided detectives with a comprehensive understanding of the eats. This robust evidentiary foundation precipitated the issuance of arrest warrants for both Treusch and Gibson. The apprehension of Emily Treusch was executed with precision. Utilizing intelligence gathered from informants and digital tracking, authorities located her at a residence in Orlon. The arrest was conducted without incident, with Treusch displaying a resigned demeanor, a tacit acknowledgement of the gravity of her situation. In the intricate dance of justice, the period following an arrest is critical, a time when the legal machinery begins to turn, determining the immediate futures of the accused. For Emily Treusch and Kenneth Gibson, apprehended in connection with the tragic death of Kenneth Marrero Cardona, this phase was marked by a series of legal proceedings that would set the tone for the trials ahead. Following their arrests, Treusch and Gibson were booked into the Orange County Jail. Each facing a litany of charges. Treusch was charged with second-degree murder with a weapon, robbery, and kidnapping, while Gibson faced charges of accessory after the fact and kidnapping. In the days that followed, the legal process commenced with initial appearances before a judge. These hearings, often procedural, served to inform the defendants of their charges and determine conditions for pretrial release. Given the severity of the allegations, the prosecution argued vehemently against granting bail, citing the potential flight risk and danger to the community. Defense attorneys countered, emphasizing their clients' ties to the community and asserting that neither posed a flight risk. They highlighted the presumption of innocence, a cornerstone of the American legal system, and proposed stringent conditions for release, including electronic monitoring and surrendering of passports. After deliberation, the judge rendered a decision. Bail was denied for both Treusch and Gibson. The court cited the violent nature of the alleged crimes and the weight of the evidence presented by the prosecutor. This ruling ensured that both defendants would remain in custody pending trial, a significant setback for the defense teams. The public's reaction to the case was swift and polarized. Outside the courthouse, groups gathered, some advocating for justice for Cardona, others expressing skepticism about the Chags. The media's relentless coverage amplified the case's profile, turning it into a topic of national conversation. Statements from the attorneys further fueled public discourse. The prosecution maintained confidence in their case, emphasizing the strength of the evidence and their commitment to securing justice for Cardona. Conversely, the defense expressed disappointment over the bail decision, but remained resolute, asserting their client's innocence and vowing a vigorous defense. As the legal process unfolds, the community remains on edge, awaiting further developments. The case of Emily Treusch and Kenneth Gibson serves as a poignant reminder of the complexities of justice, the weight of evidence, and the profound impact such events have on all involved. In the coming months, as motions are filed, evidence is examined, and testimonies are prepared, the eyes of the public and the media will remain fixed on the proceedings. The pursuit of justice is a marathon, not a sprint, and only time will reveal the outcomes for Treusch and Gibson. The tragic death of Kenneth Marrero Cardona on March 31, 2025, sent shockwaves through the Orange County community, leaving an indelible mark on his family, friends, and neighbors. As the legal proceedings against the accused, Emily Treusch and Kenneth Gibson, unfolded, the community grappled with grief, sought solace in unity, and reflected on the broader implications of such a loss. In the days following Cardona's untimely passing, his family released heartfelt statements expressing their profound sorrow and the void left by his absence. They remembered Kenneth as a vibrant individual whose presence brought joy to those around him. The family's words resonated deeply, painting a picture of a life cherished and now mourned. The community's response was swift and heartfelt. Neighbors, friends, and even strangers came together to pay tribute to Cardona's memory. Vigils were organized, where stories were shared, tears were shed, and a collective commitment to seek justice was voiced. These gatherings not only honored Kenneth's life, but also highlighted the community's resilience and unity in the face of tragedy. Social media platforms became a digital memorial, with countless individuals sharing their condolences, memories, and calls for justice. Hashtags bearing Cardona's name trended locally, amplifying the collective mourning and the demand for accountability. These online expressions showcase the far-reaching impact Kenneth had and the widespread support for his family during this difficult time. This incident prompted introspection within Orange County regarding local crime dynamics. While the area had experienced a 67% decrease in homicides in the first quarter of 2025 compared to the previous year's site-turn-zero search 7, Cardona's death served as a stark reminder that challenges remain. It underscored the necessity for continued community engagement, proactive law enforcement strategies, and comprehensive support systems to prevent such tragedies in the future. In reflecting on Cardona's life and the circumstances of his passing, the community recognized the imperative to address underlying issues contributing to such incidents. Discussions emerged focusing on mental health awareness, conflict resolution programs, and the importance of fostering environments where grievances could be addressed constructively. As the legal process continued, with Treusch and Gibson facing serious charges, the community remained vigilant, advocating for justice while also channeling their grief into positive outcomes. Scholarships were established in Kenneth's name, aiming to support local youth and ensure his legacy contributed to nurturing future generations. The aftermath of Kenneth Marrero Cardona's death illuminated the profound interconnectedness of the Orange County community. In mourning, they found unity. In remembrance, they discovered prose. While the pain of his loss lingered, the collective response showcased a community's resilience, determination to address underlying challenges, and commitment to ensuring such tragedies became a catalyst for meaningful healing. In the tapestry of Orange County's history, Kenneth's story became a poignant thread, a reminder of life's fragility, the imperative of community cohesion, and the enduring impact one individual can have on the hearts and minds of many. In the unfolding saga of Kenneth Marrero Cardona's tragic demise, certain elements persistently gnaw at the edges of the narrative, suggesting a tapestry more intricate than initially perceived. As the investigation delved deeper, unsettling questions emerged. Could there be more individuals lurking in the shadows, their hands stained with complicity? And what of Emily Treusch's chilling utterance during her arrest? He deserved it? Such statements beckon us to peer beyond the veil of surface-level understanding, urging a contemplation of motives, affiliations, and the very essence of human behavior. Emily Treusch's exclamation during her arrest, "He deserved it," echoes with a resonance that transcends the immediate context of the crime. Such a declaration is not merely a spontaneous outburst, but a window into a psyche shaped by experiences, affiliations, and perhaps hidden affiliations. To understand this statement is to embark on a journey into Emily's past, seeking connections, influences, and events that may have sculpted her worldview and, by extension, her actions. The notion of additional perpetrators introduces a labyrinthine complexity to the case. Could the orchestrations of Emily and Kenneth Gibson be the tip of an iceberg, with deeper, more shadowed waters concealing further conspirators? The very fabric of this hypothesis invites a re-evaluation of the evidence, witness testimonies, and the broader socio-cultural milieu of Orange County. Delving into the psychological underpinnings of Emily Treusch necessitates an exploration of her affiliations and past actions. Her involvement in prior criminal activities, notably the 2014 sex trafficking case, paints a portrait of an individual acquainted with the darker alleys of societal norms. This history begs the question, was her relationship with Kenneth Marrero Cardona merely coincidental, or was it a convergence of kindred spirits drawn together by shared experiences and perhaps mutual objectives? The specter of organized crime looms ominously over the backdrop of this case. Orange County's historical entanglements with entities like the Mexican Mafia provide a fertile ground for speculation. Could Emily and Kenneth's actions be isolated incidents, or are they symptomatic of a more extensive, clandestine network operating under the radar? The very possibility challenges our perceptions of community safety and the hidden dynamics of criminal enterprises. The arrest of Emily Treusch and Kenneth Gibson has not only unraveled a tale of crime, but has also woven a tapestry of community introspection. Residents find themselves questioning the safety of their enclaves, the efficacy of law enforcement, and the pervasive shadows of organized crime. This incident serves as a stark reminder of the latent challenges lurking beneath the veneer of suburban tranquility. As legal proceedings advance, the courtroom becomes the crucible where facts are distilled and narratives are contested. The defense's strategies, the prosecution's evidence, and the jury's deliberations will collectively sculpt the case's legacy. Yet, irrespective of the trial's outcome, the lingering questions about Emily's arrest statement and the potential involvement of others may forever remain etched in the collective consciousness, challenging us to seek deeper understanding in a world rife with complexities. In the end, the case of Kenneth Marrero Cardona serves as a microcosm of the broader societal. As we come to the end of this intense journey through the tragic events surrounding Kenneth Marrero Cardona, the story remains far from closed. Questions linger, details still need to be uncovered, and the mysteries, large and small, continue to shape our understanding of what truly transpired. Now it's your turn to step into the shoes of a detective. Imagine yourself standing in the middle of the investigation. What conclusions would you draw? What would your theory be about the tragic death of Kenneth? Perhaps you believe Emily Treusch's chilling words, "He deserved it," are the key to understanding the violence that led to Kenneth's death. Could it be that her history, her involvement with Kenneth Gibson, her criminal past, were contributing factors? Or maybe you think there's something larger at play, a group of individuals or even an underground criminal network working together for motives that remain hidden in the shadows? Or maybe you're one of those who suspects that there's more to this story, more players we haven't yet uncovered. Could there be more people involved? Could they be sitting in the background, waiting to be revealed? Or is this a case of a deeply personal conflict, one where emotions ran so high that it led to tragic violence? Whatever theory makes the most sense to you, we want to hear it. This is where you come in. What do you believe happened? Was it a robbery gone wrong? Was there a deeper, more chilling motive behind Kenneth's death? And what of Emily's cryptic statement during her arrest? Was it the key to unlocking the full truth? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think there are more twists yet to be revealed in this case? Was there an unseen hand at play in all of this? Share your theories because the truth is, this story is far from over. Remember, this is a conversation. Your voice matters. If you've enjoyed diving into the depths of this case with us, don't forget to like and subscribe. Join us as we continue to whisper about the most chilling, thought-provoking mysteries out there. Stay tuned, stay engaged, and don't miss what's coming next. We want you to be part of the conversation. Keep your theories coming. Keep questioning. Keep exploring the unknown. Until next time, keep whispering. And remember, the truth is often stranger than fiction.